Good afternoon, folks. This is Hunter Jackson again with Giant Recreation World, Winter Garden, Florida, and happy Friday to everybody out there. Today, I am super excited to showcase the 2026 Keystone Bullet 2290BH, BH standing for Bunkhouse. This is an awesome travel trailer. This is something that could be your first travel trailer. This is also another one that could be your last travel trailer. This is gonna fit kind of the middle of the market for everybody out there. So let's not waste any time and let's get right into it. Let's go. Alright, just a real quick jump in before we get started. I wanted to share with why I chose this unit for this week. I thought that this fits the middle of the road. I alluded to it shortly in the beginning, but this is the middle for everybody. So this coach is 27 feet tip to tail. We're sitting at about 5,200 pounds dry, so perfect for F-150s. Even the base models are going to be able to tow this one these days. And then overall, Keystone puts together a terrific product. I mean it when I say it. This could be your last RV. If you guys are comfortable with that middle size, we don't need a 45-foot fifth wheel, we just want to get out and go and have something that lasts a long time, this trailer is for you. So let's go ahead and get back into it, and thank you so much for watching. Alrighty guys, and let's not waste any time, let's get right into it. I am stoked to show you this one today, being the 2026 Keystone. I've always had a soft spot in my heart for Keystone. I personally owned a 2012 Laredo fifth wheel, but let's check out the front end on this 2290BH. Up front, we're gonna have two 20-pound LP tanks with our power front tongue jack, and then as I just showed you real quickly, total redesign on the front cap here. So we've got kind of like a little triangular, I guess this is their new logo kind of style going on, and then those beautiful LED cap lights that are going right up the side. And we've also got some red ones we'll check out in the back of the coach. Moving down the side, this is going to be a fiberglass vacuum bonded and aluminum framed coach. We should be able to see it here in our pass-through storage. Let's go ahead and get it popped open. Check that out. We actually get quite a bit of storage. They've nicely laid out our manual overrides for our jack in the front and for our slide mechanisms, as well as our power stabilizers. But look at all this space that we get in here. I mean, we're probably every bit of 2.5 feet across at the wide point, and then there towards the back, probably about 1.5 feet or so. Backing it up a little bit though, check it out. We've got an awning that goes the entire length of the coach here. So one thing that I always like to point out, and I've got it positioned the way that I want it, is that this main entry door can clear completely, making it a little bit easier to get groceries or other bulky items into the coach here. Moving down the side, we can see a couple of our cheat stickers over here. We've got a 30,000 BTU furnace, so this is going to be cold weather ready, as well as solar on board. You probably saw it on the drone shots there at the beginning. Moving back a little bit, I mean, I love Keystone. Keystone has tons to talk about. They're doing campers right, and they've been doing it for a long time. And right here, we can see that they've decided to go ahead and put our Goodyear tires on here, so no need to switch it out. And then they're also doing an upgraded axle. I believe they called a torsion flex. It's gonna make it more feel like an independent suspension system. Not fully, but feel like it more, and it's gonna be more stable going down the road. Moving out and around, we can see we've got a beautiful outside kitchen here. They've tucked it up underneath one of our bunks. And then spinning this off, which I forgot to do before we opened it. We've got a nice little outside fridge here. This would be a great spot for some extra waters, beer, what do you call it, Gatorade, whatever you're into. And then I checked it last time. It is, okay, so Keystone is inverter prepping all of their outlets on the outside as well, including that fridge there, meaning you can keep your stuff cold going down the road. Check on other travel trailers that you're looking at, because a lot of them don't do that. Moving here to the rear, we can see a couple of upgraded features. They've included our spare tire here in the back. Up above here, we do have our rear camera prep. I've talked about it before. Keystone system's a little bit more simplistic. It's just two wires that you'll need to wire nut in together up there. It's not the end of the world. It does take a little bit more time than the Furions, but we're talking maybe 15, 20 minutes extra. And then over off to the right-hand side here, we do have our backup lipper prep. So those are those extendable ladders that go a little bit beyond the roof line. And then under the other side of our bunk bed, we've got a rear door here for some storage. So this would be an excellent place to put some bikes or e-bikes these days. You actually get quite a bit in here, and we'll check it out from the inside as well. Moving down below, we do have a small 1-inch receiver hitch. Now this is going to be for maybe extra e-bikes, but probably a generator would be a good spot or a good use for this size of hitch. You can only put 150 pounds on the back of here, so just be wary, don't be putting a bunch of stuff, and definitely don't be towing anything with it. Moving around to the business end of the RV, we skipped it, but we'll jump in real quick. We do have a 4-inch steel bumper where your Stinky Slinky will go. And then a really cool feature that I like is that we've got 4-point electric stab jacks on this coach. So going inside, we'll be able to feel it here in a second. You'll have to take my word for it. It is very stable. Everything feels good on this coach. Moving back a little bit though, this is going to be a cable driven slide mechanism. I believe Keystone calls it like smooth glide or something. They're not lying to you. It sounds and feels amazing to put this slide in and out. And then they didn't put a bunch of weight on this. It's also going to be fully laminated, which I like to point out. Moving out and around. Now this one's going to have our booth style dinette in a small refrigerator, but for the use case, they've designed a very good system. Moving down, we do have our on-demand hot water heater, so unlimited hot showers, or the limit is however much water that you brought with you. If you're plugged in though at your campground, it is unlimited. And then moving on to the back side of our pass-through storage, we're going to have a lot of our water connections up in here. We've got our black tank flush, our city water connection conveniently located next to one another, hot cold shower, satellite up above here, and then our electric controls for the, what do you call them, stabilizer jacks that are coming down. Backing out, I do want to point out very quickly, we've got a solar on the side plug here. This is going to be nice if you're underneath a tree. You can plug in a couple of panels and bring them out away from the tree if you're trying to go that off-grid camping route. But then just inside the door here, we've got all of our controls and our place for our inverter if you want to add that separately. And then one thing that I like that Keystone does is they have a separate on-off switch for their solar system. That can be helpful if you're going to put the RV in storage for a little while. Let's go ahead and back it up though and get one more look at that front cap on the 2026 Keystone Bullet 2290BH. All right, and then moving into the 2290BH by Keystone, let's go ahead and get our first looks at this. Keystone does a great job with their design, their fit and finish. You can tell it's nice and quiet in here. All we've got running is a fan over in the restroom area. But let me go ahead and back us up real quick. So I want to start on the front end of this coach. So right as you turn in, and this is a feature I really enjoy, it's not just a curtain that goes across, but a fully enclosed bedroom that's going to be nice for the parents going along with the kiddos. These do close off completely. They're on the slider style doors. And then on both sides of the bed here, we've got windows for our pass-through cross breeze. There we go. Moving over to the side here, we've got hanging storage on each side with some beautiful interior cabinet lights. Plenty of storage for, you know, weekends or weeks at a time. They've included struts up above here. The storage goes all the way back. All of this cabinetry too is going to be real wood as well as painted, which I think is a really cool feature. It's an above and beyond type of thing. This is going to be a typical 60 by 80 queen size bed to give you a little bit more leg room going around. And then on each side of the bed here, we do have some drawers for our drawers, so check that out. And then up and above, we've got power, both 110 and USB-A, USB-C, and that's consistent on both sides of the bed here. So if you want to run a CPAP machine, super easy peasy. Let's go ahead and back us out and back into the kitchen slash living room area. Right here you can see our booth style dinette. Now this will drop down into an additional mattress, so if you wanted to sleep up to 6 fairly comfortably, maybe 7 or 8 uncomfortably in this coach, you could definitely do it. Let me go ahead and show you real quick though how this bed mechanism works. All right, guys, and if I said it once, I've said it a million times. These little scissor style or spin to the side style bed mechanisms are not my favorite in the world, but once you kind of master them or, you know, start practicing a little bit, they're really not all that bad. And they do go into place fairly quickly and fairly easily. But as you can see right now, even in this quick little demo, you gotta wiggle it around. It's one of those things that as you do it and practice a little bit longer, sorry if you're looking at my tail end, but as you do it and practice a little bit longer, it does become easier. And then you rearrange these cushions going on in here. Bada bing, bada boom. At about 6'2" or so, I am plenty comfortable of sleeping for a night. Someone next to me would be a little bit tight, but you could definitely make it work. 2 younger kids though, easy. Not bad, I like the options. One thing I want to point out too while I got you here is that, well, let me keep it like this. So I always tell people this is a great idea. So you've got this little bed mechanism going on right here, and if you were to line the outside with pillows, you could make this a giant couch that sits directly across from your TV area, which I think would be a pretty cool idea. I hope more people have taken my advice because it definitely makes the most use of the space. Moving down and over though, we missed it right as we came in the door. You do get tons of storage for right before you leave the coach. This is gonna pass through to the other side. So down here would be an excellent place to put a trash can that you can access without having to go all the way around this peninsula island going on here. And then to the left of that, there's going to be a couple of, you know, probably odds and ends drawers, junk drawers, things that you're going to need right before you leave the camper. And then the reason that they left the last one empty is we're going to have a little bit of shoe storage down here. So very thoughtful, Keystone. Moving out and around and continuing to talk about this kitchen area, plenty of countertop space going on. As you can see, we do have an extension off to the left-hand side here. Felt very solid putting into place. This is the other end of our pass-through side. So again, trash can or recycling bin. We've got a farm-style steel sink going on up here. We've got a sprayer on the bottom, and then check this out. We've got a couple extra sprayers if you wanted to wash off vegetables or get a, I don't know, different type of water speed and configuration coming out. You got it in your Keystone Bullet. Moving out and around, we do have a Furrion convection microwave. So this is going to be capable of both popping your popcorn and baking your biscuits in the morning. And then below that, we've got a 3-burner Greystone oven. Fairly standard, you've probably seen it in other RVs before. I kind of like it. Most of the time they don't include both an oven and a convection microwave. So I like it, Keystone. Not sure why I need to bake biscuits in both, but if I've got that many kiddos coming with me, we definitely have the option. You can see a couple more drawers going on in here. These are probably going to be used for spoons and silverware. And then this little, what's going on in here? Little cubby cabinet. So just no wasted space. I have no idea what the heck you put in there, but I'm sure you campers out there will figure it out. Moving back a little bit, we do actually get a dedicated pantry storage area. Woo, those magnets are strong. With some adjustable shelving, fairly deep. I give it a good foot and a couple of inches or so. And then you can put tall things, short things, however you want to do it. You could always add a couple additional shelves in there. And then back and around here, this is going to be our bunk room setup. So I've got it in the up position now. Let me go ahead and put it in the down position though real quick. Now that we've got our beds down, you can see we do have our double over double bed configuration going on. In theory, you can sleep 2 younger kids on here, and actually 2 adults would fit here. It does come out to about the same space that you get on that dinette. But one thing that I like, we've included GFCI outlets as well as USB-A, USB-C for both the bottom and the top bunk. So no kids fighting on this trip here. And then they do have their own little privacy curtain, so you can hear them, making sure they're not stirring up trouble, but you don't have to see them. Not bad. Moving into our restroom area here. It's actually a thoughtfully designed restroom. Nothing to write home about. Do want to point out though, Keystone's included our porcelain toilet. And then a decent shower actually. Let me go ahead and get us spun around here. I've got plenty of headroom in this shower, and check this out, they've given us a huge upgraded nozzle. This is going to have the style that comes across. It's more of the plasticky kind of feel, kind of finish, but it's going to keep all the water in the shower here. I've got tons of headroom with a skylight right above me, and then spinning us the other way, you can see we've got our tankless hot water heater controls conveniently located where I can reach them while I'm in the restroom. We've got a good sized medicine cabinet. Woo! Again, strong magnets going on here for all of your deodorant, toothbrushes, toothpaste. They've included a sink in the restroom, so you don't have to wash your hands or brush your teeth in the kitchen sink over there. And then some storage beneath here, so extra toilet paper, cleaning materials, all those goodies and knickknacks. Stepping out of the restroom here, last thing that I want to talk about is going to be our 10 cubic foot 12 volt refrigerator by Furrion. This is going to be the freezer on top, refrigerator on bottom. And I always like opening these up here in Florida, even after 30 minutes. It is very, very chilly in there. That's the huge benefit of the 12 volt these days, aside from being able to run on solar, but they cool way, way quicker. Tons of space in there. And then last little storage compartment is going to be underneath this booth dinette area. So as you can see, this would be a great place to put a plastic tote so you can get all that stuff out super easy, but they haven't wasted it and they've made it easy to get to. Let's go ahead and back up and get one more look of the 2026 Keystone Bullet 2290 BH. Alrighty guys, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody again that made it this far in the video. The channel is continuing to grow. Don't forget, we're going to be having our giveaway in the next video. We'll have a winner announced, so keep liking, commenting, subscribing. I can't say it enough how grateful I am for everybody who has joined the channel, is having dialogue in the comment section. It's really, really cool. And this particular unit I thought would fit probably just about everybody out there. Even people that aren't looking for bunk beds, they're always looking for that type of storage that they could put a bike in there. Keystone does an excellent job with their fit and finish, even down to things like, let me spin us here, these slide valances going on here. They've completely enclosed it. The materials they're using are very, very solid. They're using roller shades for everything. Keystone has figured out how to make a great travel trailer, and the Bullet is no exception. So that's all I got for now. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you next Friday. Later.